So, just when I thought there were no good people left in the world, this week went and massively surprised me. And I guess it's just that the bad people speak the loudest and drown out all the good guys. But it's restored my faith in humanity, knowing that there were some great people out there. I've learned some really valuable business lessons this week, and I want you to stay tuned because I'm going to delve into exactly what I've learned and also talk about the biggest piece of bullshit this week, which really, really annoyed me. So I posted this week about someone very nasty who'd tried to sabotage my business. They'd hacked into one of the websites, they were sending myself and my team really threatening, nasty messages, and they're just generally quite evil people. And I decided to take to LinkedIn to explain my experience with this and also to bring home the point about resilience, because I feel that lots of entrepreneurs are really losing resilience these days. And as a TEDx organizer, I run the TEDx Shoreditch event, which this year's theme is on resilience. So I wanted to demonstrate that and lead by example. But after posting this, what surprised me is the number of people who don't actually, react with the post publicly, so they don't like it, they don't comment, but actually just dropped into my DMs or sent me emails to just check in to make sure I was okay. And not only that, they reached out to cybersecurity experts, friends of theirs, family members, to just recommend their support and their expertise to me to make sure that I was okay after seeing this message. And I was obviously quite overwhelmed and quite stressed that day, but it just made me break down in tears at gratitude from this sort of behaviour that some people I know well, but some people I don't know that well, would make the effort to reach out and to put themselves out there to help me during this time of need. And this is one of the reasons why I created Knobs. I wanted to create a space for founders to feel supported and just that they've got people they can rely on no matter what. And I was quite vulnerable and explained a situation which was quite horrible and, dangerous and difficult and all these things. And there were a couple of people who weren't very nice, but then there were so many people who reached out and said amazing things. So I've learned this week that even though I write a lot of content and I get lots of nasty messages on my posts, those are just the people who speak the loudest. They are not the majority. The majority of people are good people. I just need to remember that. And even though I can get a lot of stick on my posts, and the same with you if you're making content that's controversial, you've just been really opinionated, lots of people don't like it and they'll be happy to tell you they don't like it. But those who love it will just sit there silently reading it, absorbing it, or watching the video content, and they won't necessarily take the time out of the day to tell you. So I just want to say thank you to those people who are amazing, but I also want to give a message to those people who, do absorb content and, really enjoy people's stuff, to let them know. Because every time I get a message like that, it means the world to me. It's the reason why I keep making this content and, I keep giving away my expertise for free, because I know it's helping people. And every time someone drops me a message to tell me that it's helping, it spurs me on a little bit more. And it's just nice to hear those comments from people who really appreciate it, rather than the loud people who are just going to be angry on your comments. But just for those who are getting it, know that there's good people out there. So this week I've been working on a 14-day content challenge with people in my community, and it's been really eye-opening with what people are struggling with and what people are doing really well with. And everyone in the community is an entrepreneur, and they don't have any problems coming up with content, because being an entrepreneur is really busy. You're out there doing lots of things. If you're genuinely trying to build a business, you've got content to say every single day, because you're learning something new every single day. Hence the reason I'm able to do so many of these videos, because I've always got lessons all the time. But what I've learned this week from them is that everyone is in the same boat. Whether these people are expert content creators and they have done really, really well, or they're completely new to content and business, they have the same problems. They suffer from this, what I call comparanoia. It's this a paranoia when you're comparing yourself to other people, and all those other people are doing really well on social media, or so it seems, and they naturally just compare themselves to the people. We are so bogged down with vanity metrics, even though we know deep down inside that those likes and comments don't matter and the number of followers don't matter. everyone cannot help but watch them grow and get satisfaction from watching those numbers grow. So I learned that this is never going to go away. No matter how much you tell people that these things don't matter, they're still going to be looking at them and be bothered by them. But what I want people to realise is that the engagement rate is so much more important, which is, the number of people actually, commenting and liking it compared to the reach that you're getting. And I think you can then be able to tell what better quality content your content is. And something else that I think my members have been struggling with is the amount of time it's taking to create content. So it's made me learn that actually the biggest focus isn't like I can't come up with content ideas, it's just, am I getting an ROI on this content and the time taken? Because to create quality content, it takes a lot of time. You have to invest in time into creating it, editing it, actually engaging with people, building up the audience. And the question is, are you getting a positive return on investment? So I've realised that this is actually people's biggest factor. And I think with entrepreneurship, time is always a big thing. And so if you're thinking, oh my God, I'm soaking up so much of my time on social media, then you're not alone. And it's made me realise that I need to be focusing on solutions for people to save time. So one of the things I have the luxury of is that I am very productive with my time. I found so many different ways over the years of being more efficient. And so people always ask me, how do you have so much time to post on every day on social media, run events, run different businesses? And so I'm going to be doing that. And so a lot of my content now is going to be focused on how I'm so productive and how I'm able to do things in less time. And I'm going to share those secrets with you guys. So my last lesson of this week is all about diversification. Now, so many people say to me, how do you have the time to do things? But then lots of other people say you do too many things, and it's very much a criticism. They're like, you're taking on too much, you're doing too much. And some parts are right, but this week has made me realise how important it is to do more than one thing and to diversify. Because look what's happened. TikTok shut down for 12 hours. But when that was taken away, my newsfeed on Instagram, obviously, because there was no TikTok, was flooded with creators genuinely crying and upset because they didn't know what to do with their lives because TikTok had shut down. And they had no idea, even though this announcement would come ages ago and people knew it was coming, I guess they thought it would never come, they just didn't know what to do with themselves. And that's because they put all their eggs into one basket. They were like, I've got 2 million followers over there, what am I gonna do? And they didn't know how to handle it instead of having an actual plan. And I've seen this a lot and I've heard this a lot. I've been meeting people this week and all the people I've spoken to this week who are employed are all panicking, and they're coming to me asking me to help them with their personal brands because they are scared that their job is going to be taken away from them like that. They have been made redundant before, they're seeing uncertainties, there's redundancies made all over the place at competitor organisations, and they are terrified the same thing's going to happen to them. So what they don't want to do is they don't want to be in a situation where this is taken away from them and then they've got nowhere to go. So it's made me realise this week, A, the importance of the personal brand and making sure you've always got opportunities. But that diversification is so important, that actually being a multi-hyphenate is a plus. Sure, I get what people are saying, that if you're distracted by too many things, then obviously you're not doing one thing exceptionally well. But I think if you put all your eggs in one basket and that basket gets taken away, it's very dangerous. Just like what happened with COVID, right? There were people who are concentrating only in the events industry or only the travel industry. COVID happened and they went bust overnight. So there were so many examples out there to show you that just concentrating on one thing and niching down, which is what everyone talks about, is a little bit dangerous if you're niching in one kind of vertical. So when people say niche down, sure you can, because it does help you grow and it helps you be more applicable to certain people and your right target audience, but you really also have to think about how you can be more flexible and diverse within your niche to protect your future self. So I hope this has been helpful to you, because these are the lessons I've learned this week and I'm going to be thinking about these things. So I hope that these lessons are also useful to you. Okay, so this week's bullshit of the week really irritated me. So it's International Women's Day coming up, 8th of March, and there are always so many amazing events that are on, and they're designed to inspire women and be about female empowerment. And so many of my friends have had invitations to talk at these events, which is fantastic, right? It's designed to be about powerful women, empowering them, fantastic. The problem is, all of these events have been unpaid. Now, I get it if you're trying to help out an aspiring speaker, one who's up and coming and it's good for like promotion, and maybe in return you're giving away like great digital assets they can use, brand awareness, all that kind of stuff. But if they're a professional speaker and absolutely the height of their game and they're already getting thousands of pounds per gig and you're doing it for free, how is that empowering women? How is that helping the message of International Women's Day? And furthermore, there are worse ones. Like, one of my friends put on her LinkedIn and showed me that people wanted her to pay expenses and a hotel to travel abroad to talk at an event for free, all in the name of female empowerment. Now, this is utterly disgusting. And I've seen men who throw International Women's Day events because they're like, oh, it's a great way of making money because it's easy about female empowerment. We look like we're good towards women, but actually they're not paying women anything. And they're exploiting their need and want to help other women. And they're saying they're doing it to help inspire other people. This is bullshit. Do not accept it. If you're a woman and you want to do things for International Women's Day, wait for those people who are willing to pay you properly. I get that some people don't have the budget for it, and if they're nice and they explain and they can do other things for you like social media presence, digital assets, that's different. You can see the people who really mean something. But if there are other people taking advantage of it, do not allow them to, and actually post about it to stop it happening and make sure people are aware that this should not be okay. And for women who are doing this to other women, I have no words, because you should know how this feels, and the whole point of International Women's Day is that we support each other and do this properly. So if you see any of this bullshit, please do call it out, because it absolutely needs to stop. And that's it for me this week, because I've said enough, and yeah, that is bullshit of the week for sure. Other than that, I've had a fantastic week and I hope you have too.